Steven and Larry, and we're talking Swish.
Hello everyone. Welcome back for another edition of Talking Swish. Today's topic will be the Magic Showcase 2021 announcement. What did it involve when it comes to buying paper Magic, and what does it involve for the future of organized play? We are going to find out together. But alongside with me will be Steven Dykman and our man Duy. Guys, how are we doing?
Pretty good, man. Duy and I coming off a finals finish this weekend, splitting the finals of an event this weekend, so that was pretty awesome. You top eighted it too, Larry, so that was all really exciting. Everybody came home with some money, and I got to beat the dude who kept forcing us to play every single round of top 8 in the semis, which was also wonderful.
It's so bad that I don't even care about making more money. I'm annoyed that I didn't get to go have a burger.
Yeah, no, I'm that way too, dude. I'm that way too. I really, to be fair, Andrew Walthice, our another teammate that unfortunately did not top 8 this tournament, but he was at the event. He said that burger place was kind of medium. So
I expected it to be medium, but it's the idea of getting to go out to eat with you guys.
No, I know. I hear you.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I was annoyed too that we didn't get to go out with everyone, but we got to have a good event. I was very happy about how the event went. Obviously, it helps when you have a good showing. But I'm looking forward to doing the next one with the guys. Hopefully this time we can all go out, because one of my favorite part of doing these events is when we get to go out. But me and Steven got the race back to Grand Rapids, and we got to go enjoy the wrestling pay-per-view, so it all worked out.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get into afterwards, Duy?
I immediately went to go pick up my dog from doggy daycare, and then it was Saturday, so then I had to do laundry, clean, and get ready because I had a pretty busy work week with lots of traveling, lots of prep, because this week I have to bounce between Livonia, Detroit, Grand Rapids, back to Livonia, and then get ready to go to Chicago.
Yeah, it seems like you're quite busy. I know the trips like that are just a mess. I know you said you're in Grand Rapids currently, and you're getting ready. Are you going straight from Grand Rapids to Chicago?
No, I'm going to go back to Livonia because I don't really like packing for that long in a single suitcase. So this is unpacking for 4 days, and then next week's another 5 days. So I would have had to pack 9 days worth of clothing, and I just don't really like doing that. So I opted instead to just go back home, get all prepped, ready, and then come back.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, packing for that long would be kind of an annoyance, but. I'm glad that you're getting go. I know getting to go to Chicago is always awesome. I don't know if you've been to Chicago before, but I lived there for quite a little bit, and I enjoyed every second of it. It's probably because it was a big city.
I've been to Chicago. Yeah, I've been to Chicago, but it's a pretty big experience for me because this will be a time where I get to speak on a national stage for my industry. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm happy for you, man. I hope it goes well for you. Hope it's a good experience. But
yeah.
That being said, I don't know if you both were aware. Magic had a big showcase 2021 announcement, is what they were calling it.
What?
They did it. I did watch the whole YouTube, so there is a lot of bad that's involved with it, but there's also some good that came out of it.
Okay.
Honestly, there's probably a little bit more bad than good. We'll get into that. But I want to talk, and I want everyone to be aware. We're going to be talking about it all. So if there's some things that you're going to be annoyed hearing, we apologize, but we want to be able to include every bit of information that's coming out of this. Now, let's just start. I just want everyone to know this. If you feel like you've been exhausted from your financial exhaustion or wallet exhaustion is what people were calling it, none of that is changing. It might get worse this year. That's just how it's going to be. you can't give a company the information that it was their most successful year, because now they're gonna be like, oh, let's see if we can do better.
True.
That's how it works. If I was in their position, I'd do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start here. There's gonna be 1 million secret layers coming out this year. I'm not gonna go through them all. I don't think not a lot of people are interested in secret layers. Just know, for those that don't know what secret layers are, they're special little expansions that you can buy through. I think it's the Hasbro website. I'm not sure the areas. You can easily find that information online. You just go and they have different they vary. Sometimes local game stores can get access to them. Like one of them has, like, you can get one copy of each of the pathway lands, and they're like foil. Sometimes they'll have like special arts for the secret lair. Sometimes they'll be based on a specific theme. It all varies. And we're gonna have 1 million come out this year. We'll probably talk a little bit more about some as the time progresses through this article. But just know there's gonna be a ton of secret lairs. That was one of the main things they talked about in that thing, was there's a lot of them coming out. The other thing that's going to be exciting is we are getting very close to a rotation in the standard format. We are going to go, and we're all going to be doing a special rotation video to celebrate that maybe, just maybe, we can actually have an enjoyable, playable standard format that isn't going to bore us to death. My fingers are crossed. Because boy, oh boy, has standard been hurt. Which is so funny, because it's not even bad, it's just so boring. That's a big issue. Like, they finally got standard where it's actually playable, but nothing has changed in like 3 sets. Like, it's so insane. Like, that's not how standard usually works. Like, when nothing changes, like, it's crazy. Like, at least for the top deck perspective. But whatever said, the thing that's going to start and kickstart that rotation is going to be Innistrad Midnight Hunt. That's going to be releases on. I'm seeing if they have the date here. I don't have the actual date. I believe rotation's on like the 16th on Arena. So that's when the set comes out on there. I don't know when it comes out offhand. I think throughout this article we'll find out the date for the actual release for Midnight Hunt for paper. But on September 2nd, they're actually going to start the previews on Twitch and the Magic the Gathering YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to have like a little sneak preview at some of the new cards that are coming out, I would definitely look in doing that. And they're very theatric with their announcements, I found out. Because I watched this back on Tuesday, and they put a whole show into it, let's say the least.
They kind of have to, right?
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to see and hear somebody go like news anchor for the announcements. Even though people are probably going to complain because you can't please everyone, right?
Right.
I was okay with the theatrics. It caught me off guard because it wasn't what I was really expecting. But I wouldn't say I disliked it. And then the next one after that's going to be Innistrad Crimson Vow. Excuse me. And it looked like the story is based around a vampire wedding, which is kind of cool. I don't know much about that.
I wonder if Soren's getting married.
Be interesting to find out. And also, they're doing a thing called Innistrad Double Feature. So what Double Feature is this right here. For my co-partners over here, they can actually see what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Double Feature combines select cards from 2 different sets, which will be Midnight Hunt and Innistrad Crimson Vow. In a unique draft experience featuring special art treatment on every card, arriving exclusively to your local game stores in early 2022, Innistrad Double Feature lets you celebrate this fan-favorite setting of its own limited environment and theatrical style. That'll be interesting. And it'll probably be a good way to get some cards, too, from both sets at the same time. So, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's don't get me wrong, it's another, it's just another set that we'll have to, like, endure, but it's cool. If it's going to make if it's based around a limited set, I'm all for it.
Right.
Another thing that's actually cool is, there's maybe not being any organized play, but they are doing something for the WPN premium stores. So this won't include every local game store, only stores that are at premium status. And that is they're going to be doing store championships in December. And what those store championships, for those that don't know what store championships, they were kind of like a PPTQ style event where it's more competitive. But what you win is usually it was a playmat at the end of the day that would stay like store championship of Innistrad or store championship of this. And what this one is doing, every player that does participate in these will get a foil promo Arbor Elf. And then everyone that makes top 8 will take a promo collected company. And the one that wins the whole event will get a Wormcoil engine. So it looks like instead of playmats, they're doing promos.
Very cool.
What's also pretty cool is all these promos is going to have the store name printed on them.
I love that.
That is cool. They're also on
anything they can do to support the stores more, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, I wish it was every game store, not just the Wizard Premier Network stores.
I totally get them wanting to do that, so then they can promote the people that are on their Premier Network more.
Yeah, but not having like a secondary program that supports the other game stores is kind of not good, in my opinion.
Right.
I do like the idea of like WPN stores should have a special thing in its own. I'm all for that, but at the same time, they should have did something in addition for the non-WPN stores. Because I don't know, that kind on the outside looking, that makes you feel like, oh, well, screw us, you know. Because I feel like those small stores, because there's not a ton of WPN stores in Michigan, for example, but there's a ton of local game stores that is helping this game. Like, there's still like people that are doing stuff. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Especially after the struggle.
Yeah, especially after the pandemic.
Yeah. Anything that they can throw their way would have been really well received.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not dissing this event. I think this event is. I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be very sweet. Don't know if I'm gonna participate. It depends on the dates, of course, and where the locations are. But it is very cool. Obviously, the prizes don't like interest me too much because I don't care about promos like that and foils. They're cool, and for those that like foils, I'm very excited for them to have the opportunity to win these. They're talking about they're teasing something called a Commander Party. It's a kind of event to celebrate our return to Innistrad, where you'll join a faction and jump into a story experience through Commander play. Your play group can join in storytelling, getting a sweet promo card, and enjoy the unique experience that your local WPN premium store provides. Look forward to the details on both of the first Commander Party weekend, which is going to be Halloween weekend, as well as the store championships will be the first weekend in December. Now, something that I'm very excited about is they're doing a Pioneer Challenger decks instead of the traditional Standard Challenger decks. And they're going to include the Lotus Field combo, Model Red Burn, Azorius Spirits, and Orzhov Auras. And me and Ray actually looked through the Lotus Field combo one. It is like the exact Lotus Field combo deck that Connor's been playing, minus the breeding pools.
Very cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, pretty much the only thing that was really missing from these were the Shocklands, right?
Yeah, Mono Red, the only thing that was really missing was one being Loris. So most of the decks be playing red-white for Loris. But no, the Mono Red one looked really good out the box, by the way. Azorius Spirits, I don't remember what was missing out of those, or Auras, but it wasn't too much. We can actually take a look at these deck lists really quick. We have a second. So, obviously, Spirits is missing 3 Borrowers, because the deck typically plays 4. 4 Spell Quellers instead of 2, because I believe they play 4 Spell Quellers. I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, that card's...
the mana base, obviously. I feel like the deck's hit or miss on Selfless Spirit anyway, so you can get away with that. I haven't looked at a Spirits list in so long, so I don't know what else is missing. And I feel like some of these sideboard cards don't belong. But that's like Light of Hope. I don't know if it's actually played. I don't know. Like I said, without me actually knowing the deck list these days, I can't really say. I also think that the Lowe's Field, I thought I saw a lot of them playing 4 dig through times. That could be wrong on my end. I don't remember. But everything else in here looks pretty solid. Like I said, the big thing is like not having the breeding pools. But honestly, out the box, this is a really good deck. Like,
It's a good way to support the format they haven't supported in a while. So
yeah, which is super funny. Yeah, like I said, the mono red one is pretty stellar out the box too. Then it even comes with 4 Bone Crusher Giants. Like,
good, because I think I actually need those.
yeah, and then Charge of Torch of Defiance. And then the Orzhov Auras. Yeah, I haven't seen this list in so long, so I don't actually know what's missing. Ooh, 4 Concealed Courtyards are nice to have. Yeah, these all look really good out the box though. And the Auras even comes with a Loris. That's cool.
Oh wow.
But yeah, those look nice, and I believe they're retailing at 30. But I'm not saying that's what your local store will be selling them at. Just know I think that's about the range that they're gonna be. Is probably between 30 and 35. Could be wrong, but I really believe that's what they're supposed to be at when they were talking about it. The next thing they're doing is a Commander Collection, which is black for black spells. This one is going to be packed with double-sided token and powerful cards, including Toxic Deluge, Phyrexian Arena, and more.
That was the one that's focused on EDH players.
Yes, that one is definitely a Commander's geared towards one demographic. They did release the 2022 set schedule. It looks like after Innistrad, we're going back to Kamigawa meets Cyberpunk.
Yeah, the whole Cyber Ninja themes.
Yeah.
Or neon samurai stuff.
Yep. And then Streets of New Capenna. Is that the name of it, I believe? Not really too sure what that's going to be. We're returning to Dominaria for Dominaria United. And then finish it off, we're going to do a set called The Brothers' War. Yep. Kamigawa New Dynasty is filled with high-tech delight and homages to fan favorites. And that's going to be in the first quarter. Trailing our trip to Kamigawa like the detective with gumption, the following standard release takes us to the streets of New Capenna, a city with special significance to Elspeth, built by angels now, run by 3 colored demon crime families. It's pretty cool. Dominaria holds a special place in Magic across the lore of the game and in the hearts of fans across the world. With so much story and decades of Magic history packed into one plane, our next visit with Dominaria United is a perfect place to kick off our 30th anniversary celebration. You'll be able to enjoy the original high fantasy Magic setting again in the third quarter, and the Brothers' War to top it all off. While Magic history stretches back 30 years, the lore of Dominaria itself is much longer, returning to a pivotal story of Dominaria's and Magic's history. What started a feud between Urza and Mishra erupted into an all-out war that set into motion the future of the plane and multi-universe itself. Through the lens of Dominaria's locations, characters, and victims of the conflict, we'll see a plane-spanning conflict escalate with artifacts, giant mechs, and beyond in the Brothers' War, arriving to stores everywhere in the fourth quarter. But alright, it looks like the Brothers' War one is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. But Kamigawa just needs to give us some sweet ninjas. That's all I want. And I'll be Gucci. Another thing that they're doing is they're doing another unset. This is called Unfinity. They're going to have special basic lands again. But they're going to do full art basic lands and full art shock lands. In both draft and collector boosters. So
wait, are these like regular shock lands?
Yes.
Oh, so that's so cool.
They're going to be full arts. So, for those that like those kind of things, get ready. And I heard unsets are fun to draft. They're also doing another Commander Legends. That's going to be Dungeons and Dragons. Battle for Baldur's Gate. So, for those that don't know how Commander Legends works, it's you build a 60-card deck instead of a typical 40-card deck, and you actually have a commander when you're drafting. They're also doing Double Masters 2022. Everything fan loved about Double Masters: 2 foil cards and 2 rare or mythic cards in each draft booster is back. Double Masters 2022 It will have more reprints and multicolored draft focus. All this and more arrives in the third quarter of 2022. Jumpstart 2022 is another one that we have. In addition to the Jumpstart Historic Horizons, which just came out today, we're excited to share Tabletop gets its new twist on action with 2022, arriving stores around the fourth quarter. So just another Jumpstart's going to be coming out at the end of the year, it looks like. Now it looks like Magic is going to be dipping their toes into other universes. The first one it looks like we're going to be doing is Warhammer 40,000. So, we're branching out. Believe me, if you don't, I know there's some people that don't like those, but this is going to be doing with 4 commander decks, based around Warhammer. And they're doing Lord of the Rings, Tales of the Middle-earth. It's a full Magic set release. It looks like, I'm just wanting to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Coming to Tabletop, Magic Online, and Magic Arena, plus 4 commander decks and a special secret lair drops. So these, it looks like the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth fits in the modern and historic. So they will be both legal in modern and historic. And legacy, obviously. But yeah, these are going to be modern and above formats. So that's kind of cool. Secret Lair. There's a Lord of the Rings Secret Lair that's dropping. They're also going to be venturing into a Fortnite Secret Lair and a Street Fighter Secret Lair. Like I said, they're doing a ton of Secret Lairs. It just has... And you'll also be able to pick up in-universe versions of future releases as part of the list and set boosters. I don't know if anybody's aware of how set boosters works, but how set boosters are is they're the actual set, but there's also a list of cards that isn't in the set that you can actually open as well. It's kind of how they filled in the rest of the set because you get a ton of cards throughout doing those. Then the next area they talked about how rotation works. Obviously, if you've been playing long enough, you know how rotation works. But pretty much for this rotation, all the cards that are going to be legal, if I can make sure I'm looking at this, it should be Zendikar and up. So Zendikar, Kaldheim, Strixhaven, D&D, and both Innistrad sets would be the legal standard format. And including when the sets come out later this year. And then the last bit new thing that they talked about was they have a Netflix anime coming out that's based around Magic. So there's a Magic anime coming out in 2022. So definitely want to check into that. And they did some interviews with some of the people that are doing the voices. So let me get your guys' thoughts and everything about that. There's also one thing that isn't in their article for some reason that I will talk about as well. I'll save that for last.
I have a strong opinion regarding diverging from the Magic universe. I don't mind it when they're doing stuff along the lines of Secret Lair and its alternative art. I have a huge issue with it when they're introducing new cards through that mechanic. I know that they've made the statement that you'll be able to get them 6 months after the fact, but I prefer it the other way. Like, I want those cards available to players right away and then release the alternate version later on. So that's a huge thing that bothers me. And as much as I love Lord of the Rings and D&D and stuff like that, I just don't think it belongs in Magic. And I think that it's setting a pretty bad precedent because now you're introducing all these other universes. Like, I don't mind when it's like Godzilla special art layered on top of new things. I don't care. You can do that all you want. That's just like flavor things. That's fun to do. Creating an entire set that's in the universe now, like, what is it really going to mean? I was talking to, our friend George about it yesterday. I was like, what does it mean? Like, is Gandalf going to be a planeswalker? What does it mean for the Lord of the Rings storyline?
Right.
Does that mean that he can now travel thing? Are they now interacting with that? All the aspects of the Lord of the Ring universe is now part of the Magic universe. So how does that work with all the lore that Lord of the Rings has? So those are all things that I just don't really enjoy if they're gonna go that route. So
I
I'm very
100%
excited
agree.
overall with a lot of these things they're doing. That a lot of that's super cool.
Yeah, so in response to what you just said there is, I told you from the get when they were announcing D&D, you know my opinion on it. I don't think it should have been an actual like constructed set, and I don't think that the new one should be like legal for any like competitive format. Like Legacy can include everything because that's how Legacy works at this point. That's whatever.
Even there, I feel like it should just be almost restricted to just Commander.
Yeah, the problem is all the commander sets are Legacy legal.
I know.
Yeah. I do think they should just be only secretly or like collector items or just like commander sets.
Yeah, or just like
I didn't know that was going to be
mystery
modern
card.
legal until I just read back through it. That's why when I was reading it, I was a little caught off guard and I was like, oh. Because I didn't even catch that in the
Yep.
announcement when I watched it live. That Lord of the Rings. I thought they were all going to be like secret lair commanders. Like how Warhammer was. Warhammer is specifically going to be commander decks. And then they sneak in Lord of the Rings and they're like, oh yeah, and this one's going to be go ahead and be good for modern. Like, oh yeah. Like the biggest issue I have with those kind of special sets too is all that's going to do is make modal prices go insane all over again. If not,
Yeah.
Moto's already getting out of hand. Let's not add to the level. Like, it's just very annoying.
Yeah.
The Netflix thing's
But
going to be
outside
very
of that
cool.
grievance, it's cool.
The
Yep,
Netflix thing's
I
going to be
agree.
very
I'm
cool.
happy with the Netflix things.
I am going to talk about organized play and the future of it in just a moment. But for those that do, this isn't really a thing that's going to really benefit organized play. But it is a special because Arena Opens isn't like a part of their organized play agenda. But they are special little monthly tournaments that you get to do. I don't know why it's not in this article. That's very weird to me. But that's whatever. They are going to be doing an Arena Open. They didn't say when.
Right.
It's just going to be in the future, but there's going to be a draft Arena Open.
I love that.
Yeah, they're going to do a draft Arena Open. They didn't give any dates or anything, which they didn't even put it in their article, which is so weird. I don't get that because that seems like a big part. Like, if you're not going to do organized play, you want to include all of the things that's going to be at least playable. Like, anywho, I also didn't catch the thing about full art Shocklands when I originally watched the video either. So that's going to be cool. Like the full art Shocklands for collecting purposes, that's going to be sweet for people that. And if people don't own Shocklands, and they have access to do this to get them too, which is always super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard
I'm
those sets are
loving
fun
the
to draft.
flood.
And what were you saying? Sorry about that.
I just love flooding like cards that people need into the supply. Like that's just the best thing you can do. I want people to be able to get cards at a very reasonable price.
Right. And now, we still got about a little bit more time, so I just wanted to talk about this for a second. Let's talk about Magic's state of organized play, since it is a big topic right now online. I feel like we should touch on it as well, and we want to get all of our opinions from all three of our perspectives on it. So they announced nothing for organized play. Now, before I dig deep into this, I do want to say I do not blame Wizards for not wanting to run any paper tournaments right now. That is very reasonable, because right now, trying to organize, we have the Delta variant that's on the rise, and they have to take into account for all of that. They got to put safety first, I get that. So this has nothing to do with them not running paper tournaments when I say organized play. Organized play, they have been doing somewhat for the past couple years, strictly based online, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. Here's the issue I have: like, you eliminated the MPL, which I get. The MPL was not a good system. The system had flaws in it that were just weighing too much. They had to get rid of that, right? The issue is they haven't replaced it. They haven't announced they replaced it. That's fine. If you want to work on it a little longer. But you're not giving anybody like proper channels, like any organized play system to like continue going on. You're like, it seems like their focus is on releasing product, but not having like the organized play to benefit the releases.
Yeah, I mean, it very much could be that they're just leaning on other organizations like heavily, like you were talking about, more so than they had initially led on.
See, when I said I said they were going to depend on for the return to paper Magic.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's like an extension of that, like just in general, they're just not really giving us much.
Yeah, it's really seeming like they're just giving up on like they don't have the interest anymore. And if they would come out and just say, "Hey, we're not interested. We want third party people like Star City and Nerd Rage Game to take over, and they're going to be who's running the organized play systems from now on." That would be perfectly fine if they would just say something. The fact that
I mean, they're not going to.
yeah, I get it. It's just the fact that I don't feel like we're getting any organized play systems in the near future. I don't know if we're even going to get any in the future anymore. I'm really thinking that the time of organized play might be slowly going to the past, because if they're not willing to even like do something for an online organized play during this situation, which they've been doing strongly for was it over a year or whatever, like that's the easiest thing to do is do it online. And if they're not
Right.
doing it there, when are they going to do it? When will they do it?
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to make sure it's clear. I don't care if they don't do paper events, because I can get that. But there's no excuse for not having an organized online play system. Like zero.
Yeah.
Like, do you just as get our viewers' perspective? Can you either of you think of like a quality reason why they wouldn't do an online organized system that would have like a logical stance?
No, not really. Not for me.
Like, to hedge a bet, I could see them going, hey, let's just keep waiting. This, like, maybe they had an announcement and they decided not to state it because they were like, it's not really worth it anymore. We would have had to cancel it. I could very much see that being a thing, but I don't know. I don't like that. Like, that's just me trying to find a reason for them.
Right. So they would have had to cancel an online event, or you just talk about in the paper's perspective?
No, like just in general, like maybe they had maybe the thought was they had paper events that were going to feed into online events that were going to feed into paper events, like a whole thing, so they can really push for it on both sides and get back to it. And then because of COVID getting worse now, they're like, we had to scrap the whole thing. We're not even going to talk about it. We don't want to mention it. Because we had to, go back to ground zero, and start everything over. But it's like, I don't think that's really a possibility. I don't know. At least for me, like, I don't. Yeah, I got nothing on it. So.
No, that very reasonable. Like I said, that's just where I'm at, like trying to come up with some sort of an answer, and the only answer I can come to is that's not going to be on their agenda anymore. I don't think organized play is something that they actually like prioritize anymore, and they're probably not going to, because if they're going to have successful years without organized play to the full extent, then why waste the time on it? Right. And nothing's going to change. Let's put that out there now. They're going to still be successful. They're going to probably have another like super like financially successful year. Magic's very successful when it comes to that. And I just tell people, I was like, if you want an organized play, you might want to reach out either to go into a secondary, like the secondary TOs, whether it being Nerd Rage Gaming Series or Star City Games. Or you might want to try to branch out to another game and to try to get your fix. If you want a legit organized play system, that might be what you need to do. Because waiting and all that's going to do is get you frustrated. You might want to try to find other routes and avenues to be able to get what you're looking for. Like, that's just my suggestions on it. I know that's what I'm doing currently, because if I There's nothing. I don't think there's anything beneficial coming from me just soaking and being angry about like, oh, there's no road to a pro tour in Magic the Gathering anymore. This is so frustrating. Like, that's not gonna do anything beneficial for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I found the avenue
Right.
that's gonna best fit me. I'm gonna utilize Flesh and Blood as like my organized play game, but I'm also gonna do the Star City and Nerd Rage Gaming series. And I'm going to get my enjoyment of the game that way. I'm not going to enjoy myself by buying Secret Lair and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That ain't going to happen. That's not Larry. And that's a lot of people, that's not for them either. At
Yep.
the same time, this is what majority of players it feels like it's going to draw to because they're obviously doing something right if they're going to have that successful of a year financially. So
Yep.
the player base is there for this casual like field, whether it being commander sets. They make a ton of money off it. If I was them, I would do the same thing.
Yep.
Any further thoughts, guys?
No, not really.
No, just kind of have to wait and to see if anything does occur, or if not, just direct the efforts elsewhere.
Exactly. I'm gonna just enjoy playing me some Flesh and Blood. I'm working on us actually doing an episode of Flesh and Blood in the next few weeks. Should be very interesting and fun. I know it's going to be different. It's going to be similar to when Nick came on and we did a Pokemon episode where I knew nothing he really was talking about. But that's okay. I'm going to try to make it as easy for you guys as possible to like when I talk about it. But no, it should be fun. With that being said, we have all these. What is the best thing that came out of this announcement, in your guys' opinion? Start with you, Steven.
Well, I mean, for us, not that much, but for the general populace of Magic players, I think quite a bit of things. Most people are probably pretty excited about this. The majority of Magic players are not competitive. That's just it's always been that way. That's how Magic is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for us, not much. I mean, I'm not very excited by really any of this. I was much like you, hoping for some sort of competitive announcement. And it's possible that'll be coming in the future, but right now that's not the case. And, this announcement ultimately just wasn't for us. But I think, there are a lot of cool things about it for the majority of players. So.
And Dewey?
I'm excited to know the roadmap for the sets that are coming out. I like the fact that we're going back to Kamigawa. I like the fact that we're going to new areas, Dominaria, and I love the storyline between Urza and Mishra, so I'm going to see where that's going to go. So I think that's probably my favorite thing out of everything that I talked about.
The only thing I want to see is a standard format Urza.
Yeah, I mean, and it sounds like we're going to get it. So
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think it'd be very cool. I think Urza is a sweet card in general. Obviously, I think that. Me and you both been a big fan of Urza since it kind of came out. I know you love you some Urza.
Boy.
I think that's understatement. Because man, oh man, do you love you some Urza. But no, the sets
I
look
just
cool.
like cards that they can jam as much text as possible into one thing. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. The fact that it's something that can beat Stony Silence when you're playing an artifact deck is just so hot.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of busted. But it's not busted enough for you like, oh, we need to ban this. Well, maybe. I don't think it ever needs to be banned, but some people may disagree with me. But no, with that being said, I just wanted to go have a little talk through, figure out what that announcement involved, because a lot of people were talking about when the announcement came out, like, oh, this is the end of Magic. I don't think it's the end of Magic. That's a little stretch.
Yeah, that's really dramatic and not accurate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Now, is it the end of competitive Magic? That's yet to be seen. I don't want to go that it's the end of competitive Magic, because whether it's by Wizards, there's gonna be competitive Magic in other
Right.
other organizations like the Star City and the um, Nerd Rage Gaming, and who knows, maybe Insight.
Big yikes.
Yeah, no, oh,
Big
jokes aside.
yikes.
No Insight. And we'll just have to wait and see. Let's just enjoy what we get. We're gonna get some arena opens and go out to your store championships. I definitely would recommend people to go and enjoy those.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and put a bow on this. Stay tuned, everyone. We're gonna have the interview with Mr. Jason Reid will be coming up. So, and I would definitely recommend listening to that. We got to speak with Jason, and he is very knowledgeable in what he does. So definitely come in and be entertained by all four of us, because I will promise you, we can even talk about Dewey and his lack of knowledge of the benefits of opening chess.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But yeah, until next time, this has been Larry, Steven, and Dewey here for Talking Swish. We will catch you guys later.
See you next time.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Talking Swish. Larry here. Along with me is going to be Steven and my man Dewey. But today we have a special guest with us. He is Game On's own Jason Reid. Jason, how are we doing today?
We're doing pretty good today.
That's awesome to hear. I know I'm just fresh off a pretty good weekend.
Yep, had a top 8 last weekend playing Hammer Time.
Yep, you brought down the hammer. Let people know Jason's still here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time getting to see you. I know with the pandemic it's been a little bit. I'm glad to see Game On doing events. I'm a big fan of Brian. I like what he does out there.
Yeah, it's certainly nice getting back to events again.
Yeah, get some sort of sense of reality. Steven, Dewey, I know we've been doing this is Steven's first event back, so this is probably the first time you've seen Steven in quite some time.
Yeah, I haven't seen last time I saw him he had short hair.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, you knew pre-hippie Steven.
Yeah.
This is a new and improved hippie Steven, you know. We let him watch a Charles Manson documentary and he was hooked. No going back. And then I know Dewey, we were at both Game On events. We got, because you were at the last one playing Fish, right?
Yes, I did play Fish at the
Yep.
last one.
And then you sold your soul to play Hammer Time. What made you make that decision?
Well, so the first event back, I just wanted to play Merfolk because like that, I just enjoy the deck.
Mhm.
But this time I actually wanted the top 8 or try and win. So I knew Hammer Time was a good option. And unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of testing, so I didn't really get to test other options.
That's reasonable. What was your record overall on the day? Not counting top 8.
Let's see. So I went X11, or I was X11 going in the top 8, so I had 1 loss in Swiss.
And what was your loss to?
It was the Titan, Amulet Titan.
Okay, Amulet Time. I don't know if traditionally that's a good matchup for Hammer Time, a bad matchup. I haven't seen it in action too many times.
It's supposed to be favored for Hammer Time, but just, every matchup, you can still lose it, so.
Mm-hmm. That's why there's no such thing as we like to call a bye. You hear that, James Johnson? Listen to this. But yeah, Dewey, did you have a good event too?
Yeah, it was a good time. We got to take it down, split finals with Steven, which is always fantastic.
Let's be real. You won the finals.
Yeah, you know what?
We didn't play the finals. for those listening.
No. There had to be a declared winner.
It's true.
Dewey was
No, just
technically the
played. That's all
declared
I'm
winner. We're about technicalities, Steven.
We had wrestling to go watch.
We did. But, okay, Steven, who would have won? If you had to put
I
money on...
told you, I don't know. I think it would have been close.
I think it would have been a very good game, to be honest.
Yeah.
All I do know is it wouldn't have been fast.
Yeah.
Mainly because Steven's involved. But if we ignore that part, The matchup would have been very interesting. You know, main board endurance, because Dewey, you were on Mill. For those that don't
I was
know,
on Mill.
Dewey was on Mill, and he was like doing quite well through the day. Obviously, he top 8 both of the game on events. One case they've done with both with Mill.
Yeah.
Tasha's laughter is a hell of a drug. Hell of a
It
drug.
is. I mean,
Yeah, didn't you 4-0 the
Everybody gets
prelims
stuck.
too?
yeah, 4-0 to prelim, 5-0 leagues, 4-1 leagues, and then top 8'd, and then top 2'd the 1Ks.
Yeah,
So
he's.
I think the deck is busted.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, before we started recording it, before you got on the call, Dewey, we get Jason on, and he was just talking about he just got himself some crabs.
You know, just bought myself a place at a Hedron Crabs.
I wonder
Very nice.
why.
I appreciate that man that understands the quality. The quality. Crabs.
Dewey, do you see and sense this poison in which you are spreading?
Yeah.
I'm willing to be poisoned, I'll be honest with you. Like,
That's fair. Nah, we all know how it is to have that one deck that people typically don't like to play. Because I think Mill is kind of in that category, like with Burn and stuff, where people don't like that whole stigma of playing it.
Uh-huh.
And Jason knows how this. He
Oh,
plays
yeah.
Eldrazi Tron.
Yup. Oh, I get it.
Oh yeah.
There is definitely a hatred that I got when people sat down against me, like, oh, I gotta, because I'm like now known as the guy. So
Yeah, it's so funny that you became the Mill guy of the state.
The mill guy, and you keep winning with it, too.
That's
It's
the
really
best
funny.
part. He's just out here
Yeah.
winning. Because you can't... It's one thing to be the Mill guy, but that don't win. But when you're the Mill guy taking down events and always top 8ing with it or 4-0ing prelims, like... That...
oh yeah, it was great too, because like some players were like, yeah, I knew you were gonna be at this event, so I had to make sure to dedicate a couple slots on my sideboard too. And I'm like one guy. What do you mean? What do you mean you had a prepared sideboard slots for me? And, like, what?
I'm going to
Yeah.
start going to these 1Ks with, like, extra copies of Emeralds. I'll be like, here, guys, y'all can borrow these. I got you. See that man right there? Don't let him take you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was on a
I mean,
Mirror's
that don't
call.
matter. I beat players with it.
Well, you were on
You
the
on Amiria's
Myriad.
call.
Oh. This is
Oh, I love
awesome.
it.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
that's a great call. I don't remember. I don't think I didn't really need to do much for the Mill play. I played 4 Endurance in the Cyber because I was on Cascading Rhinos. Because funny enough, all of us in this call right now, we're in top 8.
Yeah, literally the
true.
whole call here.
Yeah, the whole call made top 8 of that event. I lost some close ones to Hammer. I did end up I would have still lost the game, but I kind of conceded game 1 against him prematurely. Now that I think back to it, I wasn't actually dead because Inkmoth Nexus don't have flying because of Hammer. I wasn't dead, but I wasn't great either. So
Sure.
I don't think I would have won still, but I definitely shouldn't have conceded. I didn't think about the no flying thing, but I was I was in some bad shape.
Well, they can give it flying again too. I don't know.
Oh,
if
he
they
didn't have the
up,
mana
but-
for it at that time. But still, I was still in the bad shape, obviously. But it's hindsight being 2020 now. I did concede prematurely.
Fair enough.
And I also got to force him to know the interaction about the double activation on the Inkmoth Nexus. Don't just give it to him out of assumption.
Yeah.
Because some players don't know it, and that's when you take advantage of those kind of things.
Or even if they do know it, they might forget it in the moment, and then they go to like blocks or something like that, and then you can just, then go, okay, block.
Yep. Like I said, I know some people were messaging me. They're like, "Hey, you weren't actually dead." I was like, "I wasn't dead that turn, sure. You're right. I wasn't technically dead. I could have survived and looked at another card. But I was like, realistically, what could I have drawn in the main board that could have saved me from that kind? Because the big issue is he had Loris and he was just replaying everything, and I couldn't kill Loris. That's what killed me, honestly. I couldn't kill Loris, so my game was over.
Yeah, now that you mention it, for my winning in the top 8, I was playing against the mono green land destruction deck,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like in the abyss. Like I almost conceded at 3 points in that third game. But like I figured there's like small chance that I get out of it, and I just happened to draw like the right cards in the right order, and slowly crawled my way out from underneath the snaring bridge, a Karn, and a Vivian Reid.
Very nice.
Yeah, I played against that mono Greenlander sergeant. He thought double bridge was good enough, and then I went upkeep, hard cast Force of Vigor, blow them both up, hit you for like 24, some dumb number like that.
Very nice.
It was just insane. But his deck was super cool. He was playing he was playing Eternal Witness. He also played the Eternal Witness that had like Eternalize or whatever.
Timeless Witness.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even think about that card. I was like, when he was like, tutor up a creature, I was like, all right, what creature are we grabbing? And then he showed that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's
something. At the 1K last month, he cast Pin Glacial Worm against me, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Yo, at the last 1K, he made our boy Darnell, who was playing Amulet there, so angry because both games he like Primal commanded his land back on top to kill him with his own pact.
Oh my god.
To be fair, Darnell might have missed his own trigger anyway, so.
Yeah.
He missed it like twice in one game. It was so funny.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Jeez.
Like, Darnell is an awesome person to watch get triggered. So, Jason, you may not know this story, but he played at our Monday Night Modern one day. His opponent played Blood Moon Game 1, and he just got up and went home.
He said, screw all these blood moons. I'm going home.
Yeah, he just straight up went home. I was right next to him, his opponent, because his opponent's actually the guy that lent Steven the deck over the weekend, the Elementals deck. Super cool guy. I look over at him, I was like, you're such a bully.
Yeah.
It was
So funny.
It was very entertaining. But yeah, Jason, we're glad that you were able to make some time. I know I've been wanting to get some of you Game On players over on the podcast for a while. I know we just never had an actual opportunity to do so, but seeing you at the event over the weekend, I was like, hey, we haven't had Jason on. There's no reason that this hasn't been a thing yet. So we're glad to get you on here finally.
Yeah. Hey, I'm happy to be on. For sure.
So, you've been playing Magic for quite some time. When did you originally get into Magic?
I got into Magic, it was, like, right when, what was it? I'm trying to think. I think, like, Dark Ascension was just rotating, like, my first standard deck had Hell Rider in it, so.
Ooh, that's a nice
Very
card.
nice.
Yeah. But I built, like, the mono-red standard deck, like, a month before it rotated. Like, a month or two before it rotated.
Okay. Yo, Hellrider was an awesome card. I was all for that card.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that card was sick. And Mutavault.
Oh, man. So Mutavault is where you, like... That was kind of the gateway drug to your Merfolk addiction.
Honestly, it was Mono Blue Devotion is what got me into
Master of Waves is what got you there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, so funny enough, I played a lot of Merfolk myself, so I know how the love of Master Waves can be.
Master Wave's so good.
That card is insane, like, because when that card's good, it is beyond good, to be honest.
Yeah.
When did you first play the Merfolk deck?
So let's see. I started. I can't remember the exact years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around Eldrazi winter time.
Okay.
When I started, or when I started playing Modern more.
Okay.
Except I didn't play a whole lot of Modern previously or
Mm-hmm.
before that.
I played Merfolk at Eldrazi, and I almost played in Detroit, but then I ended up playing the Eldrazi deck because I felt like we should be playing the best deck. My buddy made day 2, like at X and 1 with Merfolk, actually, because he was vapor snagging people all day.
Yeah, Merfolk actually had a pretty good matchup against Eldrazi.
Spreading Seas was a hell of a drug.
Yeah, so was what was it, Harbinger of the Tides?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Harbinger of the Tides. That card's sweet.
yeah.
Like, it gets kind of underrated.
Yeah, and Phantasmal Image was really good against them too.
Oh yeah, I remember a few times 'cause I played it at our like weekly modern tournaments over in East Lansing, and I Phantasm of Thought Knots here a few times to be able to just get through by getting their smashers out of hand.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple smashers too. That's pretty
Ooh,
fun.
that's nice. Have you ever copied an Endbringer? I've done that once.
I don't think I've hit Endbringer, no.
Yeah, I was able to like copy and then on Vapor snag their Endbringer back. So because their Endbringer was already tapped, I forget why they had it tapped. Because the only problem with that is Endbringer like pinging your guy would be annoying.
Yeah.
I forgot what situation. This has been years at this point, obviously, because Detroit feels like a million years ago that we had Eldrazi winner. Which
Mm-hmm.
sidebar, they should just unban it now, right? Power creep's high enough, right?
I don't think so. No.
All right.
It's still like one of the best decks in like no ban list modern.
So it's up for debate. That's what we're gonna come to conclusion. It's up for
Like,
debate.
no, like stomping all the no ban list tournaments, like just dominating.
Yeah.
You see, that's because people are playing bad cards like Birthing Pod, and they get free wins against. Think about it.
Don't you speak evil? Don't you speak evil about
Isn't
the
like-
birthing pod?
The
But it's like
Hypergenesis
Storm, Hypergenesis, Burning Infect or whatever, and then that.
Oh yeah, good old Burning Infect. Forgot about that bad boy.
And even Twin can't keep up as well.
Yeah, I think Twin should just be unbanned in modern. Personally, I don't even think it's that good.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't the problem that the deck was like too good. It was like too played.
Yeah, it's like people just enjoy playing blue red cards.
Yeah, they love playing some Is It. Whether Is It has a third color to complement it or not.
No.
But no. So did you play in that Detroit event?
Yeah.
How'd
I
you
played
do?
Merfolk. Not very well. I was
Okay.
not very good around that time either. So.
That's fair. Hey, I know I ended up missing day 2 by 1 win. It was quite unfortunate. That was actually my first GP back to. So I came back to Magic around Dragons of Tarkir, and that was like my first big event. And yeah, I missed by 1 win, and it was quite unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I didn't play a single mirror either, which was super funny when I was playing Eldrazi. I got steamrolled by Infect though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, I don't care how good your Ayavugan and Reality Smashers are when you're dead on turn 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Means nothing to them. Nothing.
Yeah, I think that was like. I think Oath was probably one of the worst sets for modern in general because. Alright, this is like a conspiracy theory almost. So get your tinfoil hats ready. But I think like the whole format just kind of got like super aggressive around that time. It's like you're either playing or like the Eldrazi deck, or you're playing a turbo blitzy deck like Infect or Affinity.
Mm-hmm.
And then even once like they made the bans, like those decks were still popular and good
Yep.
because they were so quick. And then the format just kind of evolved to be that fast.
No, that's a reasonable theory, honestly. Like I said, I don't know if it's correct or not. Like I never really thought about it too much. But Modern's a weird format, right? I really don't feel like they put much time testing like the new sets or anything. Because I feel like if they did any sort of testing for Modern, Oath would have got found out way sooner.
Or what would have?
So,
Oath?
Oath of the Gatewatch, like if they did any sort of modern testing when they're designing these sets, there's no way that would have slipped by. No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not convinced.
No, there's no way. Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can convince me otherwise. So, you went to Detroit. Was that your first big event, or was that not your first one?
No, I did a couple like decently sized ones. I'm not entirely sure. I basically I played a couple competitive events here or there, and then I like stopped playing for a bit, for like about like 6 months. I think 6 months to a year or so, and then I started playing very competitively when I
Okay.
got back. So,
What got you hooked on the competitive scene?
um, well, honestly, it was more about like just the people I met. Like I moved away from my hometown or whatever, and then I met people through Magic, and then I started hanging out with them. They were pretty competitive, so I got pretty competitive too.
Okay. So like a lot of players, you got not influenced, but you got associated with other Magic players, became friends, and you started doing the grind. Kind of some. I feel like that happens with more players than not. You just get linked up with other players, and you kind of have like the same interests, and you're like, hey, let's start grinding this event, or
Yep.
this circuit. Um, I know I know a lot of people probably know you because you were part of you did the whole Team Phoenix thing upon the Star City grind. Were you always a part of Star City, or did you like was that your main objective, or did when you started was it more the Grand Prix circuit?
So I started off more so just like playing, like PPTQs when that old system was around,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when I was like really starting to like play competitively. But I was just traveling the PPTQs like every weekend.
Okay.
Um, but once Team Phoenix got created, I started playing on the SCG circuit and prioritized that a lot more.
Okay, and I definitely want to talk with you a little more on the Star City grind because I think that's gonna be the main thing that we talk about here today. But outside of Magic, do you do anything like? Do you have any endeavors or hobbies you do outside of the game?
Not a whole lot. Like, I try to put most of my free time towards Magic in some fashion or another. I'm pretty interested in like the financial aspect of Magic too. So I'd say that would probably be one of my hobbies.
That's very reasonable. There's definitely a financial portion of this game that is a whole new animal in itself. So I definitely count that out as an outside endeavor because I feel like that just you're approaching that in so much different than when you're a player.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
So before I'm going to let Dewey take this over in just a moment. Yeah, do you currently work at Game On? Is that what you do?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm a manager at the Mount Pleasant location.
Okay, I wasn't aware you're a manager over there. Have you been with them for quite some time?
Yeah, 5 years now.
Okay, yeah, you've been with Brian for a good hot minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy though. Like I can see like wanting to work for him for such a long time because super nice guy. I've have always had a good interaction with him.
Yeah, he's definitely a really good boss.
That's awesome to hear. I know when I first met you, I always seen you and Luke and maybe some others before Team Phoenix. You'd just be rocking the Game On shirts. Uh,
Yeah, we were sponsored by Game On for a while, but then they did away with their sponsorship team.
okay,
So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Um, yeah. Like I said, I want to dig in a little bit more about your Star City grind because I know it was doing the SCG grind for quite some time. But I'm going to go ahead and let Dewey take over. Dewey, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. So yeah, I mean, what? I mean, with you joining with Phoenix and everything, and then joining into the Star City grind, I guess what really started off all of that for you?
well, I'd like made a decision that I wanted to play more competitively and try and play in more events because that's just the way you get better. You have to play more.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
so, so I figured the SCG circuit was a really good circuit. You know I was a huge fan of it, always have been, and they kind of changed the GP circuit. I was kind of
Mm-hmm.
playing that a bit, and then that changed. It seemed to get a little bit more casual. Not I wouldn't say like super casual or anything, but it was more of like a Magic Fest featuring a GP rather
That's so
than
interesting,
yeah.
because like, you have people that talk about it, and they're like, oh, they think some players I know had the opposite mindset where they're like, it was like you go to the GPs because that's where the quote unquote competitive guys were, and then SCGs were the guys that couldn't compete in it. Where I've been always like, I think they're all pretty similar. So
Yeah, like I used to play in a lot of GPs before they changed it over. But like I don't know, I felt like honestly I felt like the SCG circuit was a lot tougher, and I figured I'd get a lot better playing in it.
yeah.
So
One of the big things for me was the difference between like the SCG and the GP guys. I always felt like SCG was trying to innovate like weekly.
yeah,
Like you could go to an event one week, and then by the time the next week rolls around, there's already innovation that has adapted to the different decks, the different play styles, and they were next leveling what they thought other teams were gonna do, um, which I always appreciated a ton when I was able to see
yeah,
a lot of that.
yeah, definitely. And it seems like a lot of the SCG guys are like really good deck builders too.
Hmm.
So just like you said, like it just produces so much innovation, you know, in a
Yeah.
format.
Yeah, I mean, like it was so crazy to me too because like the Oko thing, for example, when we had everybody was playing Tamir Oko, um, was it Nova that or no, it was Lotus. Lotus's big secret one of the weekends was just playing a Blood Moon, but it was so hush hush and under wraps until round one on Saturday, and then all of a sudden the secret was out. Everybody knew about it, but obviously it's too late. Everybody was already registered and playing, and then they're like, "We weren't prepared for that card at all."
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. There's a lot of different iterations of that deck around that time too.
yeah, and I think you kind of see that when you have a deck that's so powerful that everybody has to play it. It's what can you do to kind of like beat the previous version of it.
Yeah, and it seemed like the Lotus Box team were just like on it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they were always trying to push the envelope, change it up, and see what else was available. So I like that a lot. So now that we're kind of back to it, do you still see yourselves doing like an SCG grind right now once it's like more available, or do you
I
think you'll
don't
pursue a different circuit?
I don't know. I don't think I'll do SCG anymore. It's just the traveling's a lot,
Hmm.
and it's become a little bit too much for me. I'd rather just like play in um like in state events, maybe a couple like bordering state events here or there. But I definitely
Right.
plan on taking a step back.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like taken with the pandemic. People were able to reevaluate things, and it shifted a lot of people's mentality. And as a result, some people like like can't make that travel or can't make that commitment as I once was able to.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm doing a very similar thing where I'm like I can do 1 to 2 events a month. Uh, One event if it's like a bigger time commitment, and then like 2 events if it's a smaller one. But obviously, I'm still trying to squeeze in all the events I can.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I can definitely go to like all the ones in state, like that's no biggie, but just
Yeah.
like and I drove the Worcester once, and that was like one of the worst decisions
Hmm.
I've ever made.
God, where's Wooster?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that same
Connecticut.
question.
Is it Massachusetts? It's somewhere over there.
It's yeah, I don't even know.
I think it's Connecticut.
I got to the point where I was just traveling so much, I just got in a car and drove until someone told me to stop.
Oh
That
man,
was it. So
that's impressive. Like I was almost always the person that was driving, so like I would be blown away to like just jump in a car and someone says keep going this way and you're fine, and I'm like not having that, not doing that.
yeah, yeah. I usually drove too, and I just let someone else nav, and that was that.
Nice. So if you're not doing the grind like you were, are you gonna also supplement it at all with some of the like online events, or
I don't
what's
know.
your thoughts on that?
I don't think I'm gonna be playing like as competitively.
Okay.
Just in general, like I don't know. I like prepping for like whenever a new standard set comes out or something. I might like put a lot of time into that and possibly go to like a bigger event, but not too often for sure. Just yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, my priorities have shifted a bit. So,
So were they like are they interested shifting towards other hobbies now, or is it kind of just like real life kicking in?
well, I'm trying to open up my own gaming store for
Oh, really?
Magic. Yeah, so I been working more towards that and less towards playing competitively.
Oh man. Do we get into like sneak peeks on like what kind of store thoughts you have, or is that kind of like all hush hush right now until it comes more solidified?
It's more on the down low for now, but
Okay.
we're hoping sometime in the future
Yeah, I can't wait for it,
there'll be
man.
more on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always, opening a store is something I wanted to do for a long time. But if I ever go about it, it's going to be a not so much store, more of like a restaurant, hangout, esports bar.
Yeah.
This is the way I'm probably going to go about it myself.
Yeah, I think that'd be sweet,
Hmm.
honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dream of mine to do it once I don't care about money. So then, if someone wants to like annoy me and I don't want them in my store, I can just say, I don't really need your money, dude. You can just leave. Funny.
Yeah.
I would do that even if I didn't need the money.
Well, yeah, I don't think store owners should, or stores, or any business should give in to people just because they're giving you a lot of money. Like,
I spent a lot of money here. I was like, not anymore. You don't.
Yeah,
no,
I definitely
maybe
think
more.
that there are like lines to be drawn there for sure.
Hmm.
Yep. So, last time you had played Fish for the most recent tournament, and then you played the Hammer Time. You said you wanted to win a little bit more. If you were going to be playing in one like coming up, well, would your mindset still be on Hammer Time, or are you slowly adjusting it all?
Um, I don't know. I'm not like huge on Hammer Time. Like I think the deck's really good, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just the fact that you just like lose to a removal, a like well-timed removal spell is kind of I don't know. It can be very fragile at times. Like the deck's certainly powerful,
Right.
but it's not necessarily like the kind of deck that I enjoy to play, or I think I would play
very
most
fair.
optimally. So yeah, I think I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna play something else.
Is E-Tron on that list?
Etron is on that list.
E-Tron should be on that list. Like, I'm on that E-Tron Facebook group, and man, they have someone that does well a couple times a week. Like, I'm always impressed with that.
Yeah, I know. Like right now, the number 4 trophy leader is strictly plays Etron and nothing else. So,
Is he playing a lot of variants of it then, or
yeah,
or is that like the same deck he's just jamming over and over and over?
I think they just jam the same deck with a couple like minor changes here or there. To be honest, the list doesn't change like a whole lot typically. So
Mhm.
like maybe just a couple sideboard slots are different.
I like it. I mean,
But yeah.
I guess it makes sense. I don't really want to. You don't really need to do a ton if you don't have to, right? Like, I obviously can't talk. I've been playing the exact same 75 for Blueback Mill now for 3 weeks because I just think it's good. So,
Yeah.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I actually just 4-1 to League with Etron about an hour ago.
oh, sick.
Yeah, so that one's probably my front runner, but I think Jund is another deck that I really like right now.
Is it the new version of John that I've been seeing pop up?
Yeah. I think I
Okay.
sent you like
Yeah.
the red green delirium deck or whatever. It's very
Mhm.
similar to that, just minus the delirium plus a couple hand disruption. Yeah.
I dig it. We were gonna play the deck, but I couldn't quite get my hands on all the cards quite yet. But I do want to try that out because I think the deck's sick.
Yeah, I played it through a league. I ended up going like 3-2 with it, but the deck felt really powerful. I just kind of lost to a couple like rogue decks or non-meta decks. So
It always feels bad when you're doing like these playtesting because I mean, you're like, I want to have it do what I need it to do, and it's like, well, I went against this thing, so it didn't give me quite the showing I was looking for.
yeah,
I think you have to jam like, I don't know, 2 to 3 leagues at least, if not more, so you can get a real feel for it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard to get that deck though because any rental services don't provide you with enough tickets to get the deck.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
For Eldrazi-tron or
For the Jund deck.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I think like 13 or 1400 tickets.
Yep. It was the same reason why we couldn't borrow the full on canister version of Elementals because his list was like a $1,400 or $1,500 pile too.
That's the same issue I had with like Izzet because I had to go and buy a good chunk of the deck just to play it.
Yeah.
It just like Modern Horizons like skyrocketed the pricing of all these like modal value cards, and
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's even in Modern Horizons 1 and 2.
yes, yeah, just Modern Horizons in general, like the prices which is just so extreme what they're at. Like, isn't like Force Negation still like $70 to $80 a piece?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I believe it was largely in part due to I know like Modern Horizons 1 you couldn't open in chests for like the longest time. I don't know if they changed that at all, but
Yeah,
know that
big
was a
issue
thing.
is the people that don't open chests are actually hurting themselves.
You couldn't open a chest.
No, like they just didn't have Modern Horizons cards in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just couldn't open them out of a chest.
Yeah.
So there's just way less of them because of that.
It's true. I also don't think chests should be
I feel like they
sellable.
need to do some things to just generate more of these cards.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, and I feel like if they're gonna like make it so you can open up random cards in chests, you should be able to open up random cards in chests.
Yeah. You should be able to get your hands on everything, but Larry, why
Yeah.
don't you think your chest should be sellable?
It would more cards would be in fluctuation then. Think about it.
The cards would still be in circulation.
Would they though? If the chests aren't being opened, how are they in circulation?
They would still be in circulation because the people that are buying them are opening them.
How do you know though? How do you know they're being open?
Because the people that are buying them are the card services. They need to open them to get the cards.
Did you see them open them? I wait for a legit answer here.
I'm waiting for a legit question.
I'm asking you a legit question. I don't know, Jason. You be the unbiased surgeon. If you don't, do they open the chest? Do you know 100% sure if they open the chest without unreasonable doubt?
I can't say I know 100%.
I'm gonna go with that.
certain
Larry's
what they
right.
do. Okay.
Nice.
That doesn't mean you're right.
That's a good way to end the argument
like-
right there.
Yeah.
So, like, you're presenting a statement. So you're the one that has the burden of proof on you. You're the one that's supposed to prove that they don't open the chest.
I did.
How do you know beyond a reasonable doubt they didn't open the chest?
Because we're brothers.
That's not a statement.
It could be.
It could be.
I don't think you know how statements work.
All right, let's find this. Jason, what do you do with your chest?
I open every single one of them.
See, this is why we brought him on here. This is why, because this is a man with class and taste. Dewey does not do that, and he hurts Magic Online.
I do not hurt Magic Online. I throw so much money at Magic Online.
But do you open chests?
That doesn't mean I'm not throwing money at Magic Online.
If you don't open chests, you are hurting. That's like kicking a baby.
Like kicking a baby.
That's quite the leap there, sir.
Dewey, don't.
Quite the leap.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump there.
Listen, Dewey, I'm here for support.
I would like for you to explain how you got to that conclusion.
See, I don't have time to explain. You know, nobody wants to hear me explain this.
I want to hear.
But
I would want to hear.
I'm here for the listeners, not for you. Okay? Here, I'll explain it while you're dying when you do the one chip challenge when you get back from Chicago. How about that? We'll need to fill in the dead air while you're on the ground, like, spazzing out or whatever you're going to be doing.
I'm confident I'm going to be dead.
So, Jason...
Beyond confident.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be dying.
let's include Jason on this. So, Jason, because Dewey joined the cast, because originally this was me and Steven. Me and Steven, when we hit so many episodes, we did the one chip challenge. Are you familiar with what the one chip challenge is?
I'm not.
So it's this chip that's mildly hot, right? It's not really that hot. So it's like a little bit hotter than like the spicy nacho Doritos. I don't know.
Okay.
Have you ever had those Doritos?
Yeah, I've had those before.
They're kind of like that. Well,
Okay.
that's the best comparison I could come up with.
Is it like a ghost pepper chip or something? Or?
Yeah, something like that. Well, have you ever
Pretty
had
much exactly what it is, yeah.
Listen, Steven. He asked me the question, okay? I'm
right.
here to give the quality answers.
Oh, okay.
And 100% factual is coming from me. Just think of it like you took some blazing sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings and threw it on a chip, right?
Okay.
When-
I mean, I did have a ghost pepper chip like a week ago, and it was really, really hot.
Yeah. So it's like this. There's probably a little bit more. I'm trying to see if I can find up the one chip challenge. See how hot this thing is. Like, look at it. It doesn't even look hot on the screen. That's made with Carolina Reapers, actually, by the way.
Okay.
I think those are technically hotter than ghost peppers. But that's not important.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. So anyways,
So,
Dewey's
like,
got
the
to do
chip
one.
Challenge, I do. It's at 1.5 million Scovilles. Okay. And like, cause that's like the metric for like how hot things are. That's what they use. And let me just pull up things for perspective. Okay. A bell pepper is 0 on the Scoville.
Well,
okay?
a bell pepper's not even hot.
Correct. Tabasco. People are very familiar with that. That's 30,000 to 50,000 Scovilles. A habanero, 100,000 to 350,000. A ghost pepper, okay, is 850,000 to 1 million. So we're around what's called a Trinidad Scorpion or a Carolina Reaper. Trinidad Scorpions are a low end 1.2, Carolina Reapers low end 1.4. Both of them do get above 2 million. Who knows why I agreed to this? I'm pretty sure I'm going to hate myself for the next 24 hours after eating it, but you know, we're in on it.
Jeez.
Well, while you're talking about that, Steven, how was it when you did it?
No, it was not great. Yeah, it was not great.
Well, actually, for anybody that's listening, you can go back. We have the video on YouTube of me and Steven both doing it together live.
Yep.
It was a good time. My daughter goes back and watches the video and be dying. She enjoys it a lot.
I mean, I guess if I ever needed a pick-me-up, I would do the same thing.
Don't get it wrong. It'll be right on YouTube for the world to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a good time. I think everyone's going to enjoy it. Obviously, me and Steven's going to enjoy it since we're only going to be spectators of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, Steven,
I respect it.
you're interested in taking one for the team and doing it with Dewey.
No, I'm good, man. I don't want to do it again.
So
Okay.
wait, you've done it. Has Larry done it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both did it at the same time.
Okay, you both did it at the same time. Okay, just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I understood.
And
Okay.
this ain't me lying like, I do on occasion. This is on
It's like every
YouTube.
other word.
I
I
know,
don't know.
right?
I've only heard true things from Larry.
See,
You've all heard. Do you not listen?
his hearing is perfect. Okay, this is a man with class and dignity.
I'm just saying that because he agreed with you.
Look, that has nothing to do with it. I am unbiased.
You're the most biased person I know right now.
Listen, as an unbiased spectator,
As an unbiased spectator,
I am here to tell the truth. Jason has class. That's all we know. But now, the big Jason, did you want to do it too? I can get you a chip.
No, I think I'm good on that.
Okay. I didn't want you to feel left out.
No, I appreciate it, but
That's
yeah,
what you
no,
have to
I'm
do.
good.
You're a manager, right? Do you hire people?
Yeah, technically.
That should be on the application. Must perform one chip challenge. We need to know if you're mentally strong to work at a game shop. Here's a chip.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's
handle
legal,
rush?
but I'm not sure if
you
that's
can
legal.
have whatever.
Well, I feel like if you have him sign a
whatever
waiver,
requirements.
you just have to have him sign a waiver beforehand.
Don't worry, we're vocally saying it right now that Dewey is doing this under his own free will, and we are not reliable or responsible for his injury or death.
Injury or death.
It's such a What happened to just getting hurt or hating myself? Now I'm gonna die.
We should have assignment like if he dies from the one chip challenge, me and Steven gets the magic cards. That's all we care about. Like we need to make sure they're in proper hands.
That seems reasonable to write up in the contract.
I'm actually pretty certain my will says that it's gonna get given to a store and they're gonna sell it off, and then the funds will go to cover my costs and then the rest to my parents.
All right, so now if we're gonna just not load the video if something happens and we're heading to Livonia, we can move the cards around the body. It's cool.
How did you expect I didn't have a will ready to go? What happens with my cards?
They'll be like, "Oh, where's the cards you're supposed to sell?" I don't know. I'll be like,
I think it's that bulk box over there.
"Yeah, man. What's C stand for?" C says they're just great. Valuable. Just classic cards.
Just great.
Just great. Yeah, that right
Everything
there
I need in life.
is a Shivan dragon. Very valuable. Very valuable. Put that towards his expense.
Probably the best.
So, Jason, we want to thank you for coming. I know we've got to be very entertained by talking about Dewey's death that's upon us.
Jeez.
I'm not dying yet.
Yeah.
We're about to man check you with this chip. And if you drink anything, you have to give us a man card, which can be in the form of a debit card. We take either.
Wait, why? If I have to drink something. Why am I not allowed to drink water? Water makes it worse.
No, that's a rule.
Yeah.
There's a pamphlet right in the chip container that's gonna have the levels.
I haven't opened it.
I know, but I'm just saying inside you're gonna see the pamphlet, and it's gonna be beautiful. I think I can have a picture right here. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to
I
see
guess
if
you have to thoroughly read it.
there's levels, and we need you to hit the master level. I think it means you have to go 5 minutes without a drink or something like that. I don't remember offhand.
Okay.
Oh, that's just them hiring for some reason, some psychos. Do you hate your friends? Well, we got you.
Generally, I know you, so.
I think this actually kills sicknesses, though. You'll be able to smell great.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. That's what we
Like,
do in Asia. You've got like some sinus issues, just eat some super hot ramen, eat some chili, Thai chili, or dragon chilies, and you're good to go.
oh my God, there's a one chip challenge video like contest too. I'm about to tag them in it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, like they special. So inside the box is gonna be the chip specially wrapped. Just so you know.
Mm.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait.
I'm gonna die.
I'll remember you, Dewey.
Hey, just think, we'll do it
Shit.
we'll do it before the next time Dewey and Jason's at a tournament together. So if we have them do it right before, you won't die the mill. I got you, Jason.
Oh man.
I'm
No,
out here.
I will power through to kill. I will power through to kill Jason on hammer time with Mel.
I don't know, man. I got some Amiria's calls.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll make it happen. You know, I'm willing to struggle through those Amirios to get there. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, Jason, I do want to put a bow because we did tell you that we wanted to get done before the time you gave us. But we ask every guest that we have on, we ask them the same question, and that's if you could make a Mount Rushmore of Magic cards, whether they be in like the most powerful in your opinion, your favorite cards. This is where you get to be as biased as you want to be. What 4 cards would you put on your Mount Rushmore?
Oh man. That's a difficult question. I'm gonna have to think on this a second.
All right, no problem. Take a second. I'm over here just looking up some people's reactions to the one chip challenge, and I can't wait.
Let's see. So I think Marriagery for sure makes it on. As I think that one's probably my favorite Merfolk in the Merfolk deck.
Dang, not even Lord of Atlantis.
I mean, Lord of Atlantis is cool, but I've done some really cool stuff with Marriagery.
Oh, I have too. I'll agree with you there. Plus, that's the one. That one doesn't count your opponents too, correct? It's been a minute.
It doesn't lord your opponents, but
Yeah.
you can tap their permanents.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
pretty
one's
sick.
that one is fun.
Yeah, and like sometimes you do like Aether Vial shenanigans with it.
Yeah,
So,
because it's like when it enters, it taps something down, correct?
no, not when it enters. It's whenever you cast a Mer.
Cast.
You may tap or untap target permanent.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think that would definitely be one of them. Surprisingly enough, I think that one's probably the only Merfolk on it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then what's
Um,
the other 3? This is gonna be interesting.
I would say Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
Okay.
Huge fan of that card. I think that is like. So I really enjoy playing Blue-White Control. I don't really play it a whole lot in Modern, but I do really enjoy playing it, and that was a card that I thought was I think is one of the best Blue-White control cards ever printed, or at least like maybe not like most powerful, but best. So as far as like being, everything that you want out of a white planeswalker.
Right.
So I would say that one's definitely there. And then this one is a throwback to when I like playing Magic or whatever. Prognostic Sphinx.
Oh yeah.
I love that card. So mainly because it looks like Dumbledore, but also it does have a really unique ability too, and one has a little bit more sentimental value. The first pre-release I did was Theros, and I happened to open 2 of those in my first pre-release kit. So I had some fun. And then the 4th one is probably Karn, the Great Creator, as that card I really enjoy playing. I've played
man
it a
after my
lot.
heart, man.
I think
Yeah,
Karn, 4-mana Karn, is more scary than 7-mana Karn.
I agree.
Like, 4-mana Karn does some mess of things. 4-mana Karn gets things banned.
Yeah.
It is.
Ask Lattice how 4-mana Karn gets cards banned.
Yeah, that reminds me of one time I was playing a mirror match. I was on E-Tron, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if they were on Bigtron or E-Tron, but regardless, I had a Karn in play, and they play a Karn. They minus, get Mycosynth Lattice. We do the whole, count our library thing. And then he taps out and casts it. I respond by making a 1/1 with Warping Whale, and he scooped.
That's
It was
beautiful.
So good. Yep. So Warping Whale is also a pretty powerful card.
Oh, I love me some Warping Whale, man. That card is hot.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Especially when
my
it
favorite
wins
thing
in
about
air.
Warping Whale is people have to read it.
Yeah.
You do
yeah.
something they don't expect. They're like, wait, pump the brakes. It does what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like countering a sorcery, or countering like escape shift or something. It's like, whew.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That countering sorcery, I've had my my rhinos Warping Whaled.
Oh man.
Was that this week? Yeah, Noah did me this weekend. I still beat him, but he did Warping Whale one of my rhinos off a Cascade. I was like,
They feel good about it.
yeah, he felt so good he ended up losing. It's cool. We care about you, Noah.
Yeah, unfortunately, rhinos come in crashes, so killing one's usually not good enough.
Right.
Not good enough. Now, Jason, where can everyone find you if they're looking for you? Do you have any presence on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter is probably the best way. And my Twitter account is Salty Orange with a capital S and a capital O and a 3 instead of an E.
All right, we have to ask, where did you come up with the Salty Orange name?
So I was playing this Town of Salem. It's years and years ago. It's similar to like Among Us, and for one of the games they were like, all right, so everyone's name has to be themed, right? And I always chose orange whenever it was fruit themed. And then one of them, someone else picked orange, and I was like, man, I'm really salty about this. I know I'll be Salty Orange. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So I just kind of kept it ever since.
Okay. I respect that. It's great.
So that's where that came from.
Alright, well, if you're trying to get the saltiest Magic player of all time, let's lead you over to Salty Orange on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And do you have any events coming up?
I'm playing in the 2K here in Kentwood. Is where it's at.
Okay. Yep. Right
Oh.
down the street from our house, actually.
Yep. So I'll be there this weekend.
Okay, that'll be awesome. Do you have anything else? Any aspirations for tournaments after that?
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything else really planned for a bit. I know there's a Legacy 1K coming up. At some point I might end up playing in, but I don't know. Depends on if I can get my hands on some Legacy cards.
Oh, is that the one over at Upkeep?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, if you're not able to get the Legacy cards and you don't mind a couple-hour trip, there is a TCG convention going to be in Toledo that weekend too.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm going to play a bunch of Flesh and Blood and Magic that weekend. Yeah, they run a bunch of TCG. They just had one in Texas. I definitely recommend people do it. They get a bunch of like Magic artists. Like, it's gonna be a good time. And Toledo's not a far drive at all.
Are they running like any high level?
Let's take a look really quick. Got a second? We can go ahead and gander at this for the. I can tell you what they did at the last one, and then all of their ones they're usually pretty consistent on what they've been doing. So this is TCG Con. let's see what we have here. That's the Seagate Center. I don't need that. Yeah, and I believe Steven's not doing it because he has some. No, he has a wedding to go to, so he cannot go to this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
Gotcha.
Just find this really quick. There it is. Trading Card Con. Yeah, it's actually coming up quite soon. October will be here before we know it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't mind, send me a link to that and I'll check it out. Might end up going.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have Digimon, Flesh and Blood, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then their biggest tournament area is going to be Magic the Gathering. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, they have a bunch of stuff. So for Magic, that's the Yu-Gi-Oh section. Just to give you a rundown. So Magic, they have a few different tournaments. They have some cash tournaments. So they have this one that they just did, and it was a prize based on attendance style tournaments. If they had 120 players, it was first place 1,000, second place 500, third and fourth 250, 125 to fifth through eighth, and 50 below. And then it scaled up 180. First place got 2,000, second place. So it looks like the prizes just doubled once they hit 180. And then the prize went times 1.5 for 240 players. And there'll be a top cut of 16 and 32 depending on 120 and 100 and 240 players. So if there's 240, they do a top cut of 32. So it starts a single elimination in top 32.
Wild.
That's cool though. I mean, and it was modern, which is so. Yeah, there's some high level money tournaments at this event. It looks like.
All right. Well, anytime that there's a cash event with driving range, I'm usually pretty interested. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
put it out there. If anybody wanting to go to a Toledo event, I'm going solo right now, and I have already got stuff booked for it. So definitely, always keep that in mind. Yeah, yeah. Funny enough, I booked a place that had a Waffle House in the parking lot because I wanted a Waffle House in the parking lot.
Very proper, to be honest.
Like,
seems like a win.
It has a Waffle House in the Speedway, and then it had like an 8.5 rating. That's all I needed in life. But yeah, Jason, again, we want to thank you for coming on. Hopefully to see you at more events coming up. And we'll go ahead and put your Twitter handle in the description on the YouTube page. But yeah, for those future events you're going to be doing, good luck, and thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on today.
Anything else from you, Steven or Duy, wants to say before we put a bow on this?
Don't think so, man.
No.
All right, well, Jason, you keep opening those chests, and we'll send you the video of Duy doing the one-chip challenge just so you can enjoy it as well.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a treat to see.
Oh, yeah. Show your friends. Be like, this is what happens when you have friends like us.
I'm gonna die.
But until next time, everyone, this has been Larry, Steven, and Duy with our special guest, Jason. We will catch you guys later.